Around 300,000 people in England are school governors, the largest body of volunteers in the country. It's a highly responsible role.
Governing bodies have enormous responsibilities. We are part of the leadership and management of a school, and we're the strategic leaders, so we are looking to the future. We're looking 5 years down the road and you know, where is the school going? We're the accountable body as well, and we are there to monitor standards.
Despite the responsibility, there's no compulsory training, even though many new governors are uncertain about what they're taking on.
I had no real idea what the role entailed, other than it was a volunteer position.
At my first meeting, everything wasn't clear, owing to the fact that I'm new and I haven't actually had any experience in a secondary school.
I wasn't very familiar with exactly where the role of a governor lay, especially the role of an LEA governor.
Other volunteer-based organisations like Magistrates, St John Ambulance and the Citizens Advice Bureau do have compulsory training, and the National Governors Association is now lobbying for this.
This is so important. You can't just go into it and assume you'll understand it. And it gives you confidence, in any case, if you've had that induction training, that you do know how to carry out your role.
We've asked 3 new governors to try out different forms of induction training. A paper-based course and an e-learning course, which are both short introductions for independent study, and a face-to-face local authority training course. Annette Fisher has been on the Board of Governors at William Hogarth Primary School in West London for only 3 months.
I was keen to become a governor because I work for an international education charity. Having been brought up in a slightly different education system in the Netherlands at an international British school, I thought it would be interesting to introduce myself to the UK education system this way and also, you know, be able to help with the school in the local area. I came to meet the head teacher. She was very kindly gave me a tour of the school, and then I was asked if I would like to attend a governor's meeting, which I did, and then was officially selected as a governor of the school. The first meeting was a great introduction, but certainly the acronyms did throw me. It wasn't a meeting really designed with brand new governors in mind. Of course, it was just a regular governors meeting.
So will the paper-based course Annette's trying help out? It's the first certificate in governance produced in association with the NGA.
The paper course is 4 modules, and each module is a double-sided booklet. The first module was quite straightforward and obvious, and it was mostly about the general details of being a governor and what the role of a governor entailed.
Module 2 is about accountability, school policies, and working with different stakeholders.
It had a lot on the local education authority and its role, which was very useful for me because I'm an LEA governor.
The third module covers school budgets, the curriculum, and assessment. Module 4 is about being an effective governor.
It concentrated on different rules that apply to governors. I hadn't realised that many governors took such an active role, so I'd say that was definitely some new information. I fitted it in when I was having a cup of tea or whatever at home and read through each of them. So yeah, about an hour or so I'd say in total to do the whole 4 of them.
At the end of each module there are 8 to 10 multiple choice questions. These can be sent off for marking, and if over 70% of answers are correct, a certificate will be awarded.
I think it's good. The course is well structured, but just from being a couple of pages longer, each module would probably have sort of just been more rounded. The portability of the training was very useful. You're able to read it in the bedroom, you take it to the bathroom with you, you read it on the tube, wherever. And also having a manual to look back on and refer to after a meeting that has maybe brought something up that is confusing. In that respect, it's very useful.
Trying out the e-learning course is Nonye Chidemera, a new community governor at Queen's Park Community School, a secondary school in northwest London.
I decided to become a governor because I believed I had the skills. I have an advanced degree in finance and information management, which I thought would actually help. Also, I wanted to give back to the community, so I decided this is a better way of actually contributing to something that I'm passionate about.
The e-learning course Nonia's going to do, Modern Governor, is new and has been developed in consultation with many professionals, including the NGA. Like the paper-based training, it's divided into easily manageable modules.
It gives you more information about your roles and responsibility as a governor. It also tells you what about the meetings.
The use of simple interactivity makes it more inviting.
This bit of the program is about the types of governors, and if you click on the different numbers, it gives you a brief description of each governor. And then this is relevant to me because I'm a community governor. What I really liked about the training was the quiz, because it gave me the opportunity to actually reflect back on what I had read and to see if I actually remembered everything, which I thought was really, really helpful. I have done exceptionally well in this quiz. I'm very happy with my performance.
At the end of each module, there are links to other online material. There's also a discussion forum.
When you're doing this training, you don't have the opportunity to discuss with other governors, but there is a link whereby you can rub off ideas with other governors. It's a governors forum. It took roughly about 20 minutes to go through each module. There's no difficulty in just accessing the training, so it's quite flexible and it's user-friendly as well, and basically gave me additional information that I wasn't aware of.
It's sensible to provide something that goes with the computer age and allows people to explore something at their own pace. I think that Modern Governor is a really good step in a sort of forward-thinking direction, because it can be very difficult for all governors to get to face-to-face training.
It's a matter of personal preference whether to go for the e-learning or the paper-based course as an introduction. They both cover similar ground, have links to other material, and offer testing and certification. But how do they compare to a third form of training? In-depth face-to-face courses offered by most local authorities. This is what Steve Pike, a parent governor at his son's secondary school in Surrey, is going to do.
I work for central government, so I've got lots of experience of committees and administration, and at the moment I'm in human resources. I've been on the governing body now for 4 months. I've attended just one full governors meeting so far.
But Steve has already been involved in high-level decision-making.
I've actually been involved in selecting a deputy head, which was an interesting and important role for me as a governor.
Steve's off to the second of 2 evening training sessions, each lasting 2 hours.
I'm hoping to find out a lot more about a lot of the basics of how schools are run, managed, all the things that governors may well get involved in.
Well done for giving up yet another evening of your time.
Andrew Dodge, the trainer, is an experienced governor.
I've been a school governor since 1991, and I'm chair of governors now at a local community secondary school. The course I'm delivering tonight is the National Training Programme for School Governors, for new school governors. It was put together by what is now the Department for Children, Schools and Families. The session this evening is on the accountability role and the role in being a critical friend. Before we do that, let me just refresh your memory on what makes effective governing bodies.
The session is a lively mix of PowerPoint, question and answer, and group discussion.
I don't know, exercise homework to...
And projects, perhaps
and
team projects
projects
as well.
Yeah.
Golden walls, you have a golden wall at your school.
To celebrate
Progress and
achievement.
improvement.
There are also a couple of video clips to introduce the topic of governor visits to schools.
I gather from the head you're a mixed ability for silence.
Very mixed. You'll see them working in groups on activities about reproduction, and you'll notice there has to be huge differentiation.
Before your school visit, obviously agree the details. Anything else that would be...
Find out what the classes you're going to see, what they're planning to teach in that class.
Yes.
So you know something about it.
Yeah.
Make time to meet the teacher beforehand.
Exactly, yes. That was quite useful, wasn't it, in the thing, just to some rapport and know why you're there. You're not coming to inspect. And OK, what about afterwards then?
Positive feedback.
Yeah. Positive feedback. It's good to be able to speak to the teacher immediately afterwards, yeah.
But also ask them about how will they judge how what their class is learning, whether they've grasped the concepts.
I think what he did do very well was to say, I actually now have a much better idea of the challenges, what you're up against.
One exercise involves analysing a head teacher's report to governors and considering how to go on and challenge the head.
Well, there's some quite bold statements that raise concern.
Give me an example, yep.
For example, behaviour of some pupils has contributed to stress levels.
Yes.
And that's all it says, really.
Yes.
So
Yes.
It's a very unsatisfactory paragraph.
It is, isn't it?
You'd be looking to sort of steer the head teacher to writing the report in a different way.
And there was not enough focusing on what was coming out of activity rather than what was going in. It was the outcomes we wanted to find out about rather than the inputs.
An effective governor should be able to answer challenging questions as a critical friend.
We've got the attendance figures from September to the 10th of November.
Yes.
But we don't know is that good or is that bad or is that usual? Or...
And did anything stand out from those figures? Any question you would, any about attendance?
Year 11.
Year 11.
Year 11, that's right. So, is this normal? Is that typical of other schools? What was it like last year in Year 11? Yeah.
The exercise was very useful in not necessarily looking at things at face value, but actually trying to delve behind what is being said or not said in that particular report. So that was very useful.
Governing bodies who are a little insecure about their role find the challenge part a difficult one to take on, but it's one that we need to take on, and that's where it's really important to be well trained, because the training helps to give you the confidence.
We've got my second full governing body very soon, in a few days' time, so I'm a bit more prepared for that. And actually I would cast a more critical eye on the papers that I've just received for that meeting, so having learnt from this session, so it's very good. This is a good way to learn because it does force you into that 2-hour slot where you need to do nothing else than concentrate on what is being taught. And you don't have children interrupting when you're on e-learning or whatever it might be.
Governors who've been on this training undoubtedly are more effective, and they're more effective very quickly.
Both Annette and Nonye recognise that the paper-based and e-learning courses are not designed as a substitute for in-depth face-to-face local authority training.
I would say that the paper-based training is a good addition to normal training.
It's just a taster. I think I would do for the training, but at least it prepares me for what to expect.
I'm going on later in the month to do 3 evenings over 3 days of training with the local authority.
Judith Bennett, in her role as Vice Chair of Governors at an Oxfordshire primary school, always recommends local authority training to her new governors.
I ensure that all of my new governors go on induction training. It's not going to mean that you know absolutely everything, because it's a very complex job and you're always learning. But it makes you effective because it gives you the understanding of your role and how to carry it out well. And I've never had a governor come back and say that was a waste of time. They've all come back and said, that's wonderful. I actually feel now that I'm equipped to take on this role. So it has been valuable.
Of course, governor training doesn't end with induction training.
I think it's good practice for governing bodies regularly to find out what the training needs are of their governors, not only by asking them, but actually by doing an audit of what training the people have done, whether it's refreshing themselves on what the key elements of the job are, or whether it's specialised training on things like child protection or exclusions. It's really a vital part of the governor's job.